Why, good evening, everybody. It's a special night tonight. So, this day 3 years ago, we had our very first tournament match of A Link to the Past Randomizer. So, the powers that be have decided we're gonna have some fun races with that original version that we did tournaments.
Oh yeah. This is a v18 throwback race. I am Sinak, and I have been joined by JC.
Why, hello again.
Yes. So...
yeah, go.
Okay, alright. So basically what we have is version 18 of the randomizer. Once I've stopped talking here, I'll throw a link in chat so everybody else can check it out. But basically, this was the original version of ALTTP that our first tournament played on, and we've resurrected it for this special 2 days of races for your enjoyment and the enjoyment of everybody. We'll get into like kind of the things that were different back then versus now, but yeah. So, JC, what are you looking forward to seeing here tonight?
I'm looking forward to sub 10-minute gold sword.
That will certainly be a thing. Like, this is before progressive items were implemented. This is also before the light cone you only got the light cone and escape. In this version, you actually get the light cone from the lamp throughout the entire light world. You still need it for the dark rooms in the dark world, but it's free in the light world. So, yeah, that's pretty cool too.
Yep, fun times.
So we should be getting this race started here in just a minute. Yeah, this is also this is before our fancy new file select screen that has like all your inventory. This looks a bit familiar, doesn't it?
Oh yes, like inventory thing change wasn't that long ago, but there's a ton of that's changed. Like in just the 3 years we've done tournaments, and in a couple months, the very first iteration of this randomizer turns 4. Haven't decided if we're to do a special race for that quite yet, but we'll see.
I personally would love to, but we'll have to see how that all pans out. It'll be 5 years of randomizer next May 2021. Will be 5 years if I looked at things correctly. Alright.
Alright, we are getting ready to start pretty soon. So, I saw some mention in chat that we have no chest in Waterfall yet. And it's actually hard for me to believe that we actually did the first 2 tournaments without Waterfall. It's like, we had figured out how to do Boots Water Walk and use minor glitches to get to Zord Ledge before Waterfall Fairy became a thing.
Yeah, it's just that, yeah, it's probably why you didn't see a whole lot of that. Just that there's no, like, it's, the application was a bit more limited.
Yeah. So, if you get a gold sword, does that mean you don't have a... That means you have the gold sword. They did fix, downgrading before this point. This was like a V3, V4 thing, so your swords never downgrade.
Alright, and we're off. And so it begins. And just some blue mail right off the bat.
Good old V18. V19 is when we started seeing progressives. You know what I do miss? I do miss standard being the thing to do in all these uncle messages to start off.
Yeah, you don't get to see. Some of them are pretty funny. You really don't get to see a whole lot of them nowadays, but. And
Look at that.
That's pretty vanilla, isn't it? If he didn't already have lamp, at least. You already had lamp, I should say.
It's like I don't remember the extra pickups if you do that. If you do those lamp chests.
Yeah, I think it's 5 rupees in that chest.
But the big thing that was Runner's Dreams in V18 when we did nothing but standard all the time was that bomb drop that we saw off the green guards. And our Forest Eastern runners do have that bomb drop. Hopefully they don't lose it or accidentally whiff it come the back of the skate.
So my understanding is, I think Asder and Jet, they were actually original players in the first tournament.
Oh yeah.
Is that right? Yes, I believe so.
Yep, Asder even played the very first Link to the Past randomizer race. Just right when Deseret it's like, hey, check out my link to this randomizer I made. So we had a race the same.
And so it began. Alright. We're gonna get our double pot strats. Yeah, by this point, a lot of the text had already been removed from the game. Not all of it. We're gonna probably still see some Japanese still, but a vast majority had been removed or translated at this point.
Yep, I do wonder how if Asder and Jet remember how to actually game this particular version of random.
Yeah, there's one particular bug that when we get to that spot, we'll talk about it here, but it was pretty well exploited during the first tournament. Asder and Zelga really pounding through this escape right now. So, one thing that we've always known about, that's always been about escape, is that you get a free light cone here in standard mode. But in V18, and this was actually changed in V22s when it actually became what we know now, where the light cone is only in the sewers. For this race, the light cone will be free in both the sewers and also in Eastern Palace and in Death Mountain. Just all light world locations.
Yep, the original logic for light cone in all of Light World was just to give you extra locations where Lamp could. But then it turns out Lamp didn't really lock all that much stuff in the Light World side anyway, so wasn't a whole lot of stuff lost in the pool by taking this cone off.
I think before the free light cone was a thing, the lamp was pretty much forced us to be in a few places, and that wasn't as interesting. And Azur's going to be the first one to finish Escape with actually a pretty good time. That was a 5:45 with having to get the 3 chests. That's a pretty good escape time.
Yep, and then this particular version of Rando, Kakariko tend to be pretty stacked.
That's kind of where the Stackariko came from.
Yep, a lot more stacked than a G would see these days. Yeah, the technical version that we're using was called VT 8.18, with the idea that the online randomizer would be the testing grounds for like all the new features for the main version to eventually implement.
And it just ended up just becoming the main version instead. Is that Fire Rod?
That
That's
is
a Fire Rod. Wow.
And we did see that we had 3 crystals in the light worlds. We'll find out.
Alright, what does Kakariko have for us? That Lumberjack was pretty interesting, though. Like V29 or 30 is when they kind of drop. Kind of just drop like the 8 dot kind of syntax because it really didn't matter a whole lot. Just kind of just started just going like 31. We have 31.1. It's gonna be coming up here soon, and then V32. But this is 18. And I think we're already finding some capacity upgrades. Did I see something like that?
I think we did.
And you'll notice that capacity upgrade, when Jet looted that, it gave him 2 bombs. It was a plus 10 to bomb capacity, but it also increased your bomb count by 2. That's something that got later changed and removed. But in this version, that was a thing, and that could have been like a big deal. Like in Escape, like sometimes your only source of bombs would have been the bombs you got from getting a capacity upgrade.
So we do see the clock. Do you refresh my memory on this one? Was quarter magic still a thing in this version?
Yes, it had a chance of being the item instead of half magic. So since we found half, we're not going to find quarter.
That's right. The quarter magic was a progressive, I thought, in 19.
Yeah. So what eventually happened, right, is that they took out in a later version, the quarter magic was removed from the pool completely, and you could only get half magic. But in easy mode, they put another magic in the pool, and then they acted as progressive upgrades for the easy difficulty.
Alright, we see nothing on race game. Was that mushroom in library? Did I miss that?
I think I missed that. Chat might need to help us out with that one. I'm getting yeses. Maybe. Yeah. So yeah, we have Fire Rod on Lumberjack. We have a mushroom at Library. Yeah, this is what we saw there on Jet screen. It's a pretty healthy seed so far, too.
Tends to be that way on these ones. I wonder if Azure and Jet remember that Agana and Ashrar Cave tends to be very dry. Like 90% of the time was dry.
Yeah, I kind of like what Zelga's doing right now, just kind of following those gloves.
And that's definitely the thing to do in V18. So how the fill worked was...
Just following the gloves, huh?
Yeah. So how V18 worked was the fill worked by what you have and it built the spheres from that. So you generally want to follow each new place you can get as soon as you can.
Yeah, just kind of as we witnessed on Zelga's screen there, where basically immediately got rewarded with Titan's Mitt.
Of course, right now, that's not going to reward him. Well, hold on. No, it's still not going to reward him with anything directly afterwards since can't get to East F Mountain.
Did find boots though, and that's a blue cane as well in Mighty Moldorm Cave. And as JC said before, this location tends to be pretty dry, but with boots, it's not as bad to check. You might as well just get it out of the way.
It's like the other thing that the gloves unlocks is... Oh wow, there's a gold sword. Oh man, I was 2 minutes off. I said sub 10-minute gold sword. I was wrong.
Yeah, well, we found our gold sword, and yeah, it was not dry. I take back what I just said. So, yeah, our other two swords aren't going to matter. So, if we find Master Sword or Tempered Sword, they just won't do anything.
They'll probably look like Butter Swords, actually.
Yeah, they'll have the palette. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's our... So Jet's going to set up a water walk.
Yeah, I think this was found in the middle of the first tournament, this water walk. At least it became a lot more mainstream in the middle of the...
So bombs on Lake Hylia Island. And Chelsea's also getting the intel on that fire rod.
And after is getting some matching gloves to go with the sword.
It's pretty shiny. Ah.
V18 is very different from modern time.
Yeah, there's a lot of differences. Like that bomb capacity upgrade you saw. Like that's just not a thing anymore. That got removed in V30, at least in normal play.
V18 was 2017.
Yep. There were some bugs, right? So we'll get to that here in just a second with a certain game in Village of Outcasts. We'll see if anybody decides to use it. And speaking about following items, right? There's our book. Yeah, so V18 used, and I'm probably going to butcher this a little bit, but basically used a fill algorithm called forward fill. So how fill works in modern ALTTPR is it's something called assumed fill, where the game basically gives you all the items, like, and then it takes one of those items out of your inventory and wants to place it somewhere, and it just basically tries locations until it's able to place it, and then it just rinses and repeats until it's placed everything. That's kind of a simplistic version of it. V18 worked differently. It placed an item in the first sphere, like basically what you could reach immediately. And then after placing that item, it then figured out, all right, now where can I place now? So then it put another item in the places now that you could reach. The thing is that with that setup and the way that works is, since you're going forward out, you tend to run into a situation where the earlier checks that have fewer requirements have way more items at them.
Yeah, so this Azur's our second person with the Moon Pearl from King's, taking those mids with those boosts going straight there. So we've got instant Dark World access, 16 minutes in, able to do a lot of stuff in the Dark World.
Yeah, I wonder if Azur's going to show off the glitch I'm talking about that later got patched out. This would be a vanilla. This would not be a vanilla bug. And people here will probably see why in just a second. Alright, we got a map check here. We have a pendant at Skull Woods. I missed the rest of that.
Turtle Rock is a crystal, so Aghanim is required. So they can get that fire rod.
I think everybody focused on the two places where that fire rod was required at.
I saw Skull Woods and Myra's pendant.
Yeah, and it also looks like ice as well as a pendant as well.
I think ice is the green. Yeah, our trackers marked it as green. Thank you to Dark Diplomat for having a keen eye for us.
Yeah. So the map. So a modern quality of life change was the crystals would appear red. If they're the 5 and 6, and the green pendant had an indicator on it to make it easier to note that it was the green. We actually, based on how briefly the map was checked, we probably don't have a good beat on what the 5 and 6 are right now. And we probably won't for a while unless somebody takes a good look at it. Yeah, Jed's just going straight for Agha 1. It's probably a solid play at this point. And Zora has a bow.
Yep, we'll see if Zelga continues on down. Nope. Yep. So I can tell our runners get mirror. We probably won't see them head over to Zora for quite a long time. It's with Waterfall very gone, those chests gone, there's even less incentive to actually go towards Zora's area. Yeah, but then Jet doesn't know yet that this Aghanim play is required. I don't think he hopped into Dark World yet from the mountain to see what's going on.
No, so there's our ice rod and $100. Now, is Azur going to go back in? No. All right. So there's actually a bug there that I'm hoping somebody else will see, where if you just kept doing chest game, you'll always get 100 rupees every time. So you just spend 30, get 100. And you can just do that to farm Zora money. Sorry. All right. You can go ahead. I'm sorry, JC.
Oh wow, we've got that nice hammer in for our thieves. But oh yeah, another thing to note with V18 is there are no worthless RNGs when it comes to Aghanim and Ganon. So we won't have any blue ball. and we won't have any extra warp.
So yeah, I'm gonna guess 0 blue balls for Aga 1. Also, I think I think also the key logic didn't allow keys to be locked out. So the big chest isn't going to have a small key in it in Thieves Town.
And we've got flippers on the pyramid, and that's all Jet can do here. But we'll probably see him hop on over to King soon, pretty soon. See that Sanctuary play.
He'll go and get all these goodies.
Oh, that got Pixel on Azur's side.
So Jet's gonna be the first one to actually claim our fire rod here. And has he done a map check yet? He may not. I know. Does he know?
I don't think he's been to Dark.
He may just know, right?
That
It's
and
very likely. Yeah.
I mean, Jet's pretty confident with all the dark rooms in the Dark World as well. So he's figured might as well get this guaranteed fire source that we still need for Ganon regardless, and to climb GT. More upgrades.
Yay, upgrades. Alright, Chelsea deletes Armos Knights. Claims, I think, our first crystal of the game. I still didn't get a look at which one's the 5 or 6 word. So I'm getting the intel that Thieves Town and Swamp are the 5/6s, according to chat.
Yep, so it looks like the only big thing that we got from Thieves Town on top of the red crystal was that hammer in the very first chest. Or was the second chest? One of those two. It was on the left side. Let's see. I forget if the lumberjack, the cursed frog saving quit was patched out still on this version. I think that got undone before this.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, because there's like a bug with that. That's why. Yeah, so I think. I don't think it'll survive a save and quit.
It wasn't necessary. It wasn't a bug. The reason they took that away was this was before it was taken away before swords got randomized. That way you would force that logic to with that mirror to actually get tempered. Yo, we got a nice little crit medallion.
So, Asder, so guess how many digs that was? It was 15. It was fixed at 15 at that time. So he knew that it was exactly 15.
Alright, we're about to see if Hive Cave is living up to its name.
I think somebody was like joking that like Hive Cave would just be dead, just to spite us all.
It spotted us already by being Gold Sword and Ice Rod Cave.
$20, $50, an arrow upgrade. Oh man, 0 out of 10.
You cloned the right version, right?
I mean, I think I pulled the right commit. Azur's gonna be probably claiming his flip soon. I mean, he knows that at some point he's gonna have to go up to. He's gonna have to do aggro one. He's probably wanting to put it off, maybe.
Yeah, because right now he still can't even get to Turtle Rock anyway, so not far where it's not too terribly helpful at this.
But we're pretty much like a hook shot or mirror away from like full access to East Dark World, right? Or East Dark. Yeah. By the way, something I should probably check out. So if you Houlihan, that tile there, what did it used to say before in the randomizer? Was it even like changed before you started putting the tournament winners on it?
I don't remember what was in Houlihan. It's like, I don't even remember a lot of people actually using Houlihan either for anything.
Yeah, I think it became more popular when Insanity became a thing. Just because you're more money starved at the beginning. Now, I think the key layout in pod will be set up in a way where none of the keys are locked out from each other. Because that was a change that happened later.
Yeah, the big thing was no keys, no small keys in the maze.
Using a glitch that we didn't even know about yet.
Yeah, this particular.
Oh, this is legal. Yeah, this is legal, by the way. We're allowing it.
We didn't say we didn't make any special rules to be known glitches at the time. So
yeah, because there could be a lot of debate about what was known. Like, you know, how do you figure out like what's known, what wasn't known, what was known but maybe only by a few people, because like it felt like it was relevant at the time.
well, Chelsea's on her way to get her fire rod really fast, and then shortly Zelga is going to be the third runner with Blind Crystal.
So no free light cone anymore, but Azur's well practiced. I don't think Azure found what he was looking for.
Does not look like it.
Will Jet remember it was only 15 digs? I think he'll remember that.
Especially after that that zero blue ball aga.
Yeah, that really wasn't a change until quite a bit later, I think. Like, that was a fairly late change to... Oh, there's our mirror. I think... Yeah, I think Azur's also going for Zora money right now.
This chest should be a small key, I
Chelsea, what are you doing?
think. She forgot. You know, I don't think I saw what was actually on Zora's lead. Because she came up here and got the bow from Zora already.
That's Kane.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Pyramid Fairy was actually quite a while after. It wasn't until our third tournament in spring of 2018 when we had Pyramid Fairy.
All right, so I did some research, and by research, I went to ALTTPR.com/updates, and that was actually added in 26.
Oh, did I say pyramid instead of waterfall? I meant waterfall.
Yeah, waterfall. Yeah, Pyramid Fairy is always a thing. Well, at least with the web-based versions that anybody played. I think... Well, I definitely know that V3 that hadn't been done yet.
Let's see, I think V7 was when swords were randomized within each other. So I think web version was the first version with the Pyramid Fairy. Yep, and then that mirror did help incentivize catfishing and Zora for Aster, really. Since it lets them chain all these together.
Yeah, that was tempered or master.
It was tempered.
That was tempered? Alright.
And let's see, I don't think we found anything in desert. Doesn't look like... Whoa, maybe that hookshot. I missed that hookshot location.
Yeah, wait. There was hookshot?
See.
Oh, it's probably somewhere in desert. And catfish has powder. And Astor was contemplating going for that cave and then realized that wasn't a thing.
You remember.
It's like the muscle memory can be strong. Don't underestimate muscle memory. I don't even think the fairies even gave you back a random bottle contents? Is that a thing as well, or?
We didn't really focus around that strat too much at that point.
Yeah, it took a while to get the contents. So I know that like the original the original menu was there where you could like toggle between the items, like you did in the vanilla game, because like you threw more than just bottles in there, right? So it took a while, so fewer people probably did it anyway. Yeah, and Jet's showing us the power of non-progressive swords.
Very nice. And then meanwhile, Azure is heading back into pod to finish that up, and then mirroring back to Eastern and get that crystal. And then until he decides to do Aghanim, we won't be seeing that desert play. So, well, maybe we might see that. But I think he'll check out Hera first, and then head on over to East at the mountain from there.
Alright, so for everybody who's just joining us, this is a version 18 throwback race. We're playing on version 18, which was the version of the randomizer that was used for the first tournament. That tournament started exactly 3 years ago. The first race was March 27th of 2017. Do you remember who it was between?
1 sec.
Yeah, JC's gonna go look that up.
I think it was Wolf83 versus Aaron Doby. Because I do remember it being that commentary being Carcat and the OK. Fun fact, I restreamed that match myself.
It's a nice spin speed right there. All right. Jet's going to give us a look at Hera. Also, it's going to turn it and go ahead and check this tablet. So, fun fact, there was actually no hint text on these tablets. If you read them, you would just get like the ancient Hylium, and wow.
Hey, we found all our swords.
Yeah.
Yep, and then with the Meyer pendant, we don't even care what Meyer needs, so we don't need that flute. We do need to see if Turtle Rock needs bombos to open. I think that wasn't randomized. I think that was randomized already. That.
The what? I'm sorry.
The medallion requirements.
Yeah, I want to say yes.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
Yeah, so that's so Chelsea is doing an archery game. I hope she realizes that you could literally get free money from the chess game.
But we can do this instead. But the reason I remember that medallions were already random, one of my matches again that knocked me out of the tournament against Evil Ash came down to whether or not he needed to find another medallion for T-Rock or check every chest in Ice Palace, or just go mode that instead. So it came down to him actually go moding Ice Palace and getting lucky on the medallion. So I remember that being randomized. Alright, we've got Jet and Zelga in similar situations on items in Crystal. Neither of those runners have been to Zora yet to actually see that, but they don't have the rupees for that. And they haven't seen that cane yet. So, still missing an item, so off to the basement. And then we'll see if Azure just goes straight to getting his fire right after.
He has the intel on it, right?
Yeah, he had.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he has the intel on that. And just blue rupees in basement of Hera.
Alright, so Jet's bailing. Oh no, he's done. Yeah.
No, he's got it.
Yeah.
Yep, they both got that blue rupee. And we get our first peek on East Death Mountain. Then we'll see that followed up with Death Mountain. Mirror was deep in Pod. It was in the basement of Pod.
Yeah, this is a pretty terrible location.
So it technically required the lamp to get.
We should do one of these with the old speedrunner logic.
Oh man.
That's a blast. So, before overworld glitches was a thing, there was a minor glitches type logic that put most glitches that were considered minor at the time in logic, and they just called it speedrunner. The speedrunner logic, basically.
And then we did have a full glitch logic a couple versions later.
I think there was a major glitches. I think that was a thing in 18.
If it wasn't in 18, it definitely was in 19, because I played a lot of that in the summer.
Yeah, so yeah, there is a major glitches logic, so in 18. I can't vouch for its quality. But...
there were some mean things required on that one, even by glitching standard.
Yeah, so keep in mind, right, is that it didn't give you free boots. That wasn't a thing at that time.
That only became a thing in Overworld glitches.
Yeah.
And it took a version after it first came. Because late boots in Overworld glitches basically means you're playing normal NMG stuff until you get boots. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw Astor check Lumberjack.
Well, he doesn't have a fire source, so he I guess that'll kind of help work out for him. Because he won't be grabbing that ruby.
But he also knows he's out of logic right now in this particular deck.
It's true. Alright, Zelga's giving us a look at Spike Cave along with Jet. We're kind of just kind of doing this at the same time.
I'm checking these rupee counts, making sure we didn't accidentally clone the same runner.
A little harder to tell. This is before we had custom sprites. Or, well, we had custom sprites, they just weren't integrated in the site.
Yeah, that was basically immediately after the tournament. Yeah, we had to hold back. V18 was released right before brackets of the first tournament. But we had a lot of V18s pre-generated for the rest of the tournament.
Okay, so Zelda gonna read. Oh, I'm not gonna read it. Sad. No, we got things to do.
Yeah, Zelga's basically run out of stuff to do, so Zora needs to be done. And Jet's gonna be in that situation pretty soon as well. That does have the rupees. But it looks like we're going to see that dip into Eastern first. I completely missed the T-Rock check, but looks like it is Etho. As soon as Asdor makes his way over to Desert, he will be in... well, he'll be in no mode. Provided he actually checked Lumberjack, but I'm 99% sure I saw him go on there.
Well, we'll know if he enters TR to scout it. Nah, yeah, he's bailing. Alright, he knows.
Okay, Zelda saw that Kane on Zora's gonna get Bo pretty soon.
I mean, this is shaping up to be a pretty fast seed. But yeah, these tended to be, especially when you got, like, during that tournament, this kind of felt like players were really able to read into the logic. And you had some pretty fast races as a result, even by modern standards.
Yeah, we had a ton of low 120. There's that first fire source for Asdor, which would now put the rest of everything he's done in logic. As well as that basement that he couldn't check in Hero. We know his blue rupees, but he doesn't know that. Yep, Jet does not have this mirror, so he's going to try to death. He gets sent back to the beginning of Eastern and go from there. And the thing that's helping Answer right now with no hookshot is he can't check all the chests in Hookshot Cave. I don't think he's gonna hover to the other chest, but we'll see.
I mean, he knows how to hover, right? I think he does. Yeah, he knows how to hover. Never mind. Am I kidding?
Yeah, so this would be the telling point on if he did actually check Lumberjack Cave. Because if he does try to hover, knowing that Hookshot would be the only thing he still needs.
True. Is he gonna go in?
Okay, so never mind.
I have a really good feeling that he hasn't scouted. Yeah, there's no way to be doing this otherwise.
Yeah, no way at all.
Alright. I'm gonna get a brief look at Chain Chomper Room. He's be able to continue.
Yep, and Azur's probably going to full clear the rest of the game before he dips into. Jet does potion unlock glitch as well, or the camera unlock glitch, since he has not made his way over to Zora yet.
Let him die. Oh!
Well, there goes that
Oh
plan.
my.
Let's see if he decides not to continue. Nope, he's continuing.
Yeah, this is gonna sink him.
Hookshot is on right side of Desert Palette.
Chelsea's finding that that Master Sword on Bombos or on Ether Tablet.
Yep. I do imagine once Azur finishes this, he'll probably go to Desert after he's done with Turtle Rock for now, since he's got that Fire Wars and the ability to complete Desert Palette. But with him being in Turtle Rock, he either just didn't check Lumberjack at all, since a lot of runners do like to skip that particular check, or he actually forgot what it was. Oh, I guess Ether was in Pod as well. That does put Zelga in go. I don't. And then did Zelga hop into Dark Death Mountain? I think Zelga does know the entry requirement for Turtle Rock. Yeah, as soon as Jack makes his way to Zora, he will be in go mode as well. As soon as Chelsea goes to Desert, she'll be in go mode.
All right, Aster, think. What did you skip? You can do this. But I guess
He's dipping swamp. Or hopping over to the bombos. We'll see.
probably all of the above.
K45.
Or even more than all the above.
Yep. And then having the full access in Swamp Palace, that definitely disincentivizes Zora for in Jet Spine as well, so he's gonna full clear desert or swamp. When that Zora play would put him in go mode. I do imagine Chelsea going to desert after this. Possibly Turtle Rock. She would be able to actually clear that.
I missed that. Did Azure get stuck in the wall, or is that just kind of where he saved and quitted?
Yeah, it looks like he did get stuck. Not a fun time at all. There's some fun things in Collision that you can get yourself completely stuck and no way to pop out. But Astor is going to get his hook shot pretty soon. I imagine he's going to hop into the desert after Agna.
So right now, which runner is looking like probably in the best shape? I kind of want to say Zelga at this point.
Zelga should be in full go mode.
Yeah.
And about to get the 5th crystal.
You know, I'm sad we're not going to see Icebreaker. I mean, unless like something big happens and somebody decides to go into ice, which I don't foresee at this point. There would be no good reason to. Chelsea might. No, you'll do desert first.
Yeah, Chelsea will definitely do desert first. It's a clearable pendant dungeon. Oh yeah, Zelga is able to do full go mode in
Yeah, that'll be a nice time. That'll really pull Zelga ahead.
and Zelga's going to save time on Chelsea and T-Rock, since all that needs to be done is find the big key and one extra small. And Chelsea's going to check every single chest in without that Do you imagine Azure's gonna go straight to Swamp after the?
Very likely.
And I'm pretty sure Fire Rod is gonna be last location for him at this point.
I mean, there could be worse last locations. No, yeah, this is pretty bad though. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, and Agna or Lumberjack last location without Agam down. No.
I think like he's like to the point where he hasn't checked like Lumberjack, so he's just like really hoping he doesn't Lumberjack at this point.
Yeah.
Because he just put it off for so long.
Yep. So I imagine he'll at least finish Swamp. I mean, and Skullwood. Did we get 2 items in Skullwoods or just 1?
I don't recall. And I don't think we'll probably ever know. That's crystal number 6 for Aster. Or 5. He needs to make his way right now to Lumberjack. He needs to get that intel. That's a pretty nice, a close 1 cycle. But
and
or no, was it?
Jet is gonna check out Pyramid Fairy for us. Does not know that Zora is the play yet.
So we have like 3 runners with 3 different go mode items.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Alright, so Pyramid Fairy, just a heart container, and that legendary single arrow, Destiny, and things.
Alright, Jet is definitely gonna do Zora right after Catfish. We have that mirror out, ready to go. So Jet's gonna be in go mode pretty soon. And he's got everything except the bosses down in Eastern and Pod. And then he'll be on his way to Turtle Rock shortly behind. Just a little bit behind. But all Zelga needs to do in T-Rock. So that big key is Fire Rebel. So we'll probably see a key still from the Pokey and then go in straight to the back.
Actually, probably putting this off probably helped out Jet a bit. Because like not having Kane kept him out of Turtle Rock. That's what it felt like to me. So right now, we're about 1 hour into this race. We have Astor. He is looking for his Fire Rod. That's on Lumberjack. Jet is in go mode. Zelga's been in go mode for a while now. Chelsea is looking for Hookshot. That's in Desert. palace. But beyond that, we don't have a whole lot of intel on where Flute is at. It's probably in GT at this point, or in one of the pendant dungeons we haven't gone into. We also don't have much intel on any other items that are gray on the tracker. This is V18, so there's no hints or anything like that.
Hints were on an extremely recent thing. Like,
yes, they were.
Like less than a year old at this point, I think.
Year and a half. Yeah.
Alright, and Zelga should be good on keys the rest of this done. Should not have to do a trip to Laser Bridge.
Yeah, so question in chat, do the hint tiles, or do the tiles still say memes when you check them? I'm not, some of them I think may have been like translated, and I put that in quotes, by the way, heavy air quotes, translated. I think some of them had not been altered yet. So they probably still read the original Japanese. I'm not sure exactly which is which.
Nice.
we're gonna see a diver down. There we go. So that works by basically clipping into the rail and jumping down in a spot where you normally would not be able to do so. There's only 2 actual deep water tiles, and correct me if I'm wrong, JC, on any of this. Actually in front of that staircase, and the rest of it there's just no water. So if you jump down in a spot where there isn't any water, the game still thinks that you're on ground, and that happens.
Yep, Link to the Past was definitely a game that was programmed to detect only expected. So, with the limited space from the original game, there's really no point in counting for stuff like this, where you would hop out of a place that you couldn't normally. So the nice thing about NES and SNES era games was how much they optimize everything.
Yeah, like a lot of people like say, well, game's written badly. That's not the case. Actually, the fact that stuff like that happens is actually a sign of the opposite, because they had so well optimized it to be able to basically get every ounce of compute power they can out of the SNES CPU. That's not a trivial task, right? So shortcuts have to be made like that. And a sign of a well-programmed game is really when you can make those shortcuts and you don't come across them generally when you're playing the game normally, that you have to do shenanigans like placing Samaria in the right place in order to do something like that.
Or frame perfect movement. It's like, they call it, there's like this little trope where you can lose the game by insanity. It's like, a lot of developers like, okay, you have to do a lot of insane movements in order to do something like this, so it's your own fault at that point rather than the developer's fault.
Yeah. There aren't a whole lot of ALTTPR bugs that you can come across just trying to play normally. Maybe getting EG by saving and quitting in midair might be like one of those things you can easily do accidentally. There's also a few other ways to get EG accidentally. Chest number 4. 5 is our big keys.
And we
This is
have
a
that
pretty
extra key.
friendly- Yeah.
Oh, we have 2 keys.
Yep. We are set. Yeah,
Yes.
Zelda's really gonna like take this seat away.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, like another thing that can be done on accident is YBAs.
But there's not a whole lot of situations though where you're doing a glitch on accident in this game.
Yeah, and then even then, that's a frame perfect mistake.
Yeah.
There are also.
Sorry,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was thinking Jingle Glitch is also another one you could do on accident if you're trying to be fast but not quite fast enough.
I guess you could get knocked out of bounds on accident as well. It's like we've discovered that with Dead Rocks and the Popos, where you're just running by, you get hit at just the right spot, and you're stuck in a wall. Fun stuff.
Alright, so Chelsea has her Go Mode item as well. And I think, yeah, so she knows, she's checking her menu, she knows she still has to get that key. There, now she has the big key, and now she can finish the dungeon.
And then she can finish the game. Gets to Gomo Swamp. Since he's got that hook shot now. Aster's going to hop into Fight Cave. And Zelda's already passed the gauntlet. Getting ready to have some fun with them with Res Robes. And I wonder how many blue balls we'll see on Aghanim 2.
It's a clean Riz Rub 2.
Alright, Aster, where do you want to go this time? Do you want to see what's in Lumberjack? I think that's where he's gonna check really fast right now. We saw him save and quit away from Mountain, and now he's back in St. So I think he's checking out Lumberjack for us.
Yeah, he knows what's happening now. Maybe?
Nope.
Oh, debated.
He is going to the Skull Woods. Wait, no. He can't do anything in Skull Woods. Anything new,
Nope.
at least.
Maybe he's... No.
Purple chest. Nope.
More than that, yep.
Oh yeah, he hasn't done this yet.
Yep, and then also can do Magic Bat.
Alright. So
Azur's gonna... Yeah, Azur's gonna start running out of plays to make.
Alright, 2-2-2 on Zelda for Aghanim 2.
That was a pretty nice snipe there at the end. Alright, now, along with the Aga RNG being fixed, Ganon's RNG is also fixed. He will not warp at all he won't do any warps other than like his initial one, right?
It's just the useless warps in phase 3.
Oh, do you think Azur remembered? I think he remembered.
He's checking now. Probably just combining that with this top set of Dark Hyrule to combine with everything.
No. No!
No, he is not going to check it out.
Zelda is in phase 3. There's not going to be any warps beyond this initial one, so it's going to be pretty fast.
That's 2.
And now goes Ganon.
So, very nice and clean fight with Gold Sword and Silver Sword Zelda. So, GG's to him.
And Zelda Dasan has finished in first place with an SRL time of 1 hour, 16 minutes, 55 seconds. You win. Alright, and Jet is getting... Yep. So Jet has his 7th crystal, and he's ready to go into GT.
Alright,
Chelsea's
trying to get Diver going.
Alright, and we are joined by Zelda Dasan. GG.
Hey, GG. Thank you very much.
That was a... Yeah, you read that one pretty well, didn't you?
Yeah, I made 2 kind of major mistakes that ended up actually paying off big, which was A, forgetting entirely about Agina when I left Desert, but B, way more importantly, going to pod before Eastern because I was not thinking whatsoever, and then getting bailed out by the mirror. But yeah, this was interesting, and it really felt like all the v18 seeds that I watched way back in the day.
Yep, the thing that burnt Jet on this one was... It was for... Well, his go mode was checking Zora items.
Okay, yeah, that was not quite my go mode, but I put it off way too late. Whenever the hook shot didn't lead to anything on the mountain, I was thinking, what's the other thing it could do is Ice Palace. So then I was thinking, well, let's check all the stuff around it first, and then we go in. And I got bailed out by the bow and Samaria being right there, which kind of pushed me towards pod.
Very nice.
Yeah, so... I was going to ask another question. So, Asder, have you seen the situation he's in right now? So basically...
The fire rod, yeah.
Yeah, he never scouted Lumberjack, and I think he's completely forgotten about Lumberjack.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I know I've done it before, so I can't blame him. We've all kind of been in that situation sometimes.
Yep, if he had that knowledge, he probably would have been in go mode probably a good 5-10 minutes before you.
Yeah, I could believe it. Like, I knew I did pretty good on this seed, but at the same time, I was seeing, it could have been routed slightly better. So I could absolutely believe it if he had found that fire rod. That's unfortunate for him.
And I think now he's in the state of... He's kind of in that wandering state right now.
Looks like he's going back to Hera and trying to get that basement item. Because he's already got Spike Cave on him.
I'll be honest, the boots kind of pushed me to check the Lumberjack, but I was already kind of thinking about it just because V18, it was always kind of like one of the things back then was that you were always just going to have to do Aga for the pyramid item anyway. So I was thinking, you know what, I kind of want to see what that is, and then it's something required, and then I do Aga, and the pyramid is something else required. It was actually kind of funny.
Yeah, there was a lot of awful Aga plays in V18. It's like the one thing that keeps people from egging or agging them is boots, which end up on the pyramid.
Yeah. So I never actually played V18 back in the day. I think I started on like 20 or maybe 21. but I watched the tournament so much. Like the V18 tournament is what got me into random. So I was watching that pretty much every time I could, and so I still remember a lot of the things that happened in that tournament as far as kind of how seeds looked.
I think this is Azur's literal last check before
For the rest of the pendants. Oh no, he doesn't. He can't even do ice, so that helped. But he could. No, he can't dip into Mire. So that's saving him big time. Though he can't even do anything with the pendant dungeon, so that's cool for him.
All right, everybody, send your thoughts to Azur right now. Lumberjack. Zeno Saint? Nope. All right. Well, on Jet's side, Jet's working his way through the upper part of GT. He'll be finishing here probably pretty shortly as well. I will say normally this replaces a boot start race that they generally do every Friday, like a fast Friday, and I consider this race probably a fast race anyway.
Yeah, I agree. It seems like there's a lot more like early sphere progression in this mode, or this version, I should say. So it kind of like a nice replacement.
Oh my! All these names on the credits. Oh my! Scrivo, Greenham, Green Linen Shirt, Wizrobe. Some hot names here.
Yeah, these were the guys and gals that led the pack. Very appreciated all the work that got put into this, and like these are even the old school credits with like screen transitions and things like that. I actually really like those types of stats.
I mean, so like you could feed Sahasrabot your SRM file now, and it'll parse all that out for you. So if you do want to go find all that stats, I got tools for it now.
That's really awesome. I'll definitely play around with that sometime.
Yeah, it's like the ALTTPR stats command. You just like attach the SRM file to it. It doesn't have everything. Like I'm gonna add more stats to it, but yeah.
Only stat that's required is the number of times you bonked.
Yeah. It's the only one that matters. Like. All right, and Jet. All right, Azur is okay. Did Azur scout Lumberjack finally, or is he just like doing it? I kind of missed that. So he's just doing it.
He's got nothing else out, I think.
Yeah, maybe he's finally realized that it has to be Lumberjack. So instead of scouting it, just got to do it. And is that triple? No.
Alright, and there's that. Shot number 4 by Jet.
And
and then there goes that giant pig for us. We'll get Jet's astral time in just a few seconds. 1 hour 25 minutes and 20. Finishes 6th in this. Oh yeah, by the way, we forgot to mention that Zelga Deson did get first overall in the race itself.
Yeah, and by actually a pretty decent margin too. About 4 minute margin. So Zelga finished first at 1:16.55, and then Hydropower was second at 1:20.49. Rywick was third, 1:21.27. Jay Coper at 1:25.08. Big Zigzio with a 125, 13 in 5th, and then we had Jet in 6th.
Hey, we're gonna have an AGA 1 and AGA 2 at the same time. I like this. Alright, Azure finally gets Aghanim 1. Gonna finally see that pyramid and not be too terribly happy about his go mode.
And we are joined by Jet.
Hey, GG guys.
Yo, GG's, Jet.
So, what was your go mode item?
Ether, but I got Mirror like maybe 30 seconds earlier.
Yeah, man. I really wanted. I was actually hoping that Bo would be in ice. I'm like, that's the only thing that could save me. Because at that point, I'm like, I wanted to find Kane, and I'm like, I was ready to dive into ice after Zora. So my go mode was Kane and Bo at the same time.
That's actually kind of what I did. Whenever I got the hook shot and then did up the mountain and it was nothing, I was like, well, the only other thing the hook shot really gets me is Ice Palace, so I guess that's where I'm going.
Was this really?
But then I did Zora first.
No Ice Rod in Turtle Rock, nothing in Hype Cave, nothing in Death Mountain. I want my money back.
All right, I'll forward that to the bot. Oh wait, I rolled this, man. Oh, I rolled it myself. Okay, never mind.
And enter the pre-screen ROM accusation for tomorrow's race. Oh wait, you're racing tomorrow. You can't do this, Ionic.
Fine, I mean, somebody else will do it. I don't care. Alright, so Azure just found his fire rod. He's in go mode now. He'll be able to get Turtle Rock cleaned up.
And meanwhile, Chelsea finishes off again. So while we're waiting for that fanfare, in 7th place we have Leslie Pro at 126.28, Foram at 127.33, Hitaka at 128.01, Guitar Girl TS9 at 10th with a 128.54, and Chelsea is in 11th with an official restaurant time of 1 hour 29 minutes and 24 seconds. So GG's to Chelsea.
Yes.
And then Azure just has to check the right hand side really fast, and then he'll be in the big key. So he's cleared out everything he could earlier without the fire rod. And we are joined by Chelsea. Hello.
Hello.
GG's, Chelsea.
Yo, thanks, Zoggy. You too. GG's on the win, the big hot win.
GG.
Yeah. I mean, so that was pretty much a nutshell V18 seed, really.
Yep, sub 15 gold sword.
Yeah, straight from fighters to gold sword. That's all I wanted, honestly. That's all I cared about.
I saw Master Sword, but I never found Tempered, so I don't know where that was.
Mushroom.
Oh, really? Okay.
It felt really weird seeing the tempered sword as my reward and skipping it.
I mean, Magic
Yeah.
Sword on Ether was pretty good. I was really hoping it was actually on Temper was on Bombos, and that means that was a required gold sword for progression. And hey, we actually got sort of progressive gloves.
Yeah, I was thinking about
Yep.
that. I was like, wait a minute. I was trying to think of where the other glove was. Yeah, I was hoping to see mitts before glove, and then we got the glove early. I was like, oh man.
I mean,
But yeah,
like, yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that was very enjoyable. I enjoyed pretty much every moment of that. There was never like I didn't touch a pendant. Like it was great. It was very V18. I loved it. My execution could have been better, but I was having fun. So.
You were almost the first person in Go mode too on stream.
Oh dang.
Yep, it just.
Did I just have less dungeons? Or no, I only had like. Did people go mode more dungeons, or what happened?
They did desert a lot earlier and got that hook shot.
Yeah, so that was my biggest mistake. Was as soon as I got the fire rod, I was like, I'm gonna go to desert, and then I found the mitts. I'm like, never mind. Like literally, I was gonna check what's it called? Or not mitts, the moon pearl. So I was gonna check King's Tomb and then go to desert, but I got the moon pearl. I was like, no, I'm just gonna go into the dark world, see what happens. So I could have gotten that really soon and been in go mode. And then the reason why I went up the mountain before desert was because I wanted to see the medallion required for pod, or not pod. Oh my gosh, Turtle Rock! Wow. So yeah. It was
That
fun,
is
though.
funny. It sounds like we all had different Go mode items. I think someone in chat mentioned that, but everyone on stream apparently had different Go mode items.
What was yours?
Mine was the cane bow.
Nice.
Yep, you were the first one with that, by the way, Chelsea.
The cane. Oh yeah. I figured that was a pretty good situation. I was feeling good at that moment, and then I think that's when my execution started to be a little funky. But it's all good. What about you, Zelga? What was your?
Ether and Mirror basically like side by side.
Okay. Was that what was in the dark room? On the right side, next to Mirror?
Ether was in the maze.
Okay, so I did have the big key. That I realized that after I like had skipped it, and then I got lost trying to get back, and that was a big whoopsie.
So with Azur's early dip in T-Rock, he used that pokey key to get to the big key chest, so the last small key is the big chest.
So he has to backtrack.
Oh no.
And he couldn't death warp back here because he had taken an exit.
Wait, so did he have a different go mode too?
Fire Rod, he did not check Lumberjack.
Holy moly. Yeah, as soon as I get the boots, I always check that. That was a fun little... I couldn't tell what it was at first, because it like cuts off right before you either see the red or the blue, so I had to like walk down.
It is a rod.
It was a rod. Okay, but so my thought process was I hadn't seen a pendant yet, so I was like, okay, if it's ice rod, I might be able to skip that. But I'm like, I need to check what it is. So when I saw it was fire rod, I was like, all right, gotta probably grab that. And then I wanted to see the Dark World map immediately to see if I even needed it, because if both Skullwoods and Turtle Rock were pendants, then I could have done the skipperoo. Did anyone get the lamp as late as me? That was fun.
Not that late now.
I was wondering where it could be.
That lamp actually locked a lot of things in logic this seed.
Did it?
Well, because it
Oh,
blocked
because of
Mirror
the pod.
and
Yeah.
which is Turtle Rock.
Yeah, we don't have any of that fancy fire rod logic in this game.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing to think about is that Light World, everything's in logic.
So that was that was something I didn't remember from V18. That was when I went into Eastern. I'm like,
Yeah.
do I have the lamp? What's going on? And then I was like, oh no, Light World is just lit up.
I was curious how many people would be thrown off the fact that Fire Rod was behind, but it didn't matter because Lantern was up on Death Mountain.
Death
so
Mountain. Yeah.
You just have to remember I can do Death Mountain. If people who not used to dark rooms, you don't need to do it. It's not in the dark. But that's sort of a minor case. But it could have been more interesting. I didn't get my Moon Pearl. I got my Fire Rod first because I got mitts and I knew where, and I got my boots. And I'm like, you know what? The Fire Rod there, that could be my fire source to beat Desert, and that way I can check everything in Desert. And I'm like, I was gambling that, you know, one of the Skull Woods or Turtle Rock or the big key was on the right hand side of GT. Like I was hoping Fire Rod was required, but I knew maybe I was wasting my time. But it ended up working out. It's just that was going to be my fire source, and then I went to go pick it up, did Kingston first, and there's my Moon Pearl. I'm like, well, that was probably a waste of time, but you know, Turtle Rock is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did something similar in that I just went straight to Aga without ever going in the Dark World to check. Like, I had the mitts and pearl, so I could, but I figured I'll just grab the Fire Rod and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want to get bamboozled. I wasn't too...
I mean, Fire Rod's got a good chance that it's required, but yeah, I don't know. It was probably risky place.
I mean, we hadn't seen a pendant yet. If I'd seen at least one pendant, I probably
Right.
would have just done it. But the fact that we hadn't seen any pendants, the likelihood of Skull Woods and Turtle Rock being pendants, and it was almost there. I saw the pendant on Skull Woods, and I like scrolled my eyes over to the right. And I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
same. I'm
never
like, of course,
mind.
Skull Woods is a pendant when
Mhm.
I just picked up Fire Rod.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
so one final thing about logic and placement in V18. There was a much stronger likelihood we would see Big Key in this room or in Rando Room. Like,
That's funny, because I was saying I was going to do Dark Magician strats if it wasn't in here. For
Yeah,
GT, I'm assuming you're talking about?
yeah, for GT, it's like a good 60-70% of our seeds had Big Key in this room or Rando Room.
I believe that. I remember that. Because
I remember early on, one of the iterations, but I wasn't sure which one, there was actually a bug in the placement logic where it could only be in the Stalfos room, Rando room, or behind Ice Armos.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was this version, because I feel like I would have remembered it from the tournament if that was the case. I feel like they fixed it by this point that we're playing, but I don't know. 3 years ago was a while.
I think it was between tournaments, actually. Or it got introduced as a bug and then fixed before the tournament.
Yeah, I don't think it was part of a tournament. That's all I remember. That's why I'm like, I'm gonna check the right-hand side just in case. But I didn't do Dark Magician. I do my normal route.
Yeah, but there was still a lot of bias in the placement.
It was not quite what I expected. I expected more of a depth type situation where you pick up an item, it leads to another item, just based on the old fill algorithm. But it didn't quite work out that way. It was really hard to try to figure out where the seed suggested you should go versus, I don't know, just the way I route now in general. I was fighting between those things, trying to figure out how to balance everything out and find all the stuff first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely did some weird routing because of this. Like, basically, I rushed up the mountain and got those Titans mitts immediately just because I was thinking about the light world, like the lamp, and just the fact that it was even a thing you could do. Felt like something's going to be behind the glove because progression will lead to progression.
I remember back in the day, Death Mountain was the Hype Cave, of course. There's a reason it's called Hype Cave. It's V18, and Death Mountain were like the places to go for progression. And both of them this seed. That's what I'm saying.
I was very disappointed in Hype Cave. I made my file surrounding Hype Cave because I was so excited, and then there was nothing in there.
Well, maybe tomorrow.
Oh yeah, there's another one.
Yes, there is.
Oh, all right. Well, if I'm awake.
Yeah, so we have another one scheduled for 3 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow. I know it's going to get restreamed. I don't think a channel's been decided unless it's been
Last I saw was Beegaming 4.
All right. So yeah, we'll have another one of these. Also, this website. Somebody could throw the link to the site in chat. I won't say how much longer I'll keep the website open, but it is free for anybody to generate throwback games as well. Before I shut it down, at least.
So you're staying
So-
stock up.
I'm just saying.
Generate 100 V18 seeds.
Yeah, kill my server, please. Appreciate it.
Listen,
No hoarding seeds.
I have some qualms with your Sahasrabot. I'm sure you do too.
Oh, I do, but that's a bit off topic right now. But since we've went there, 3.5 hours. Oof.
Dude, rough.
Anyways, there was a question about what was holding Azure up. He did not check Lumberjack Shave at the beginning of the seed, so he lashed location and basically Fire Rod. He had access to nothing else before he did Agony. So, it brings us to where we are at Agony 2. Looks like a 2-1. 2-1.
I kind of forgot about the whole no blue balls, no Ganon warps thing. That's a really nice throwback. I could do for more of that.
Okay, so it's 0. For whatever reason, I thought it was before they just decided it was going to be random each time. I forgot that they made it 0-0. For some reason, I thought it was.
And the shovel game was, I think, guaranteed 15th.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. No, Azure showed that off because like he planned like basically this last dig, put the Quake the medallion just right there, like right in front of the entrance.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's just little things like that that I'd forgotten about V18. It's been so long, so I remembered little things, but like things like that, I saw them. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a thing.
I'm surprised nobody checked the sauce volatile and hula hand.
Does it actually say something else? What does it say?
I never did hula hand.
I don't know.
I think it's probably just the original Japanese.
Yeah.
I did get to see a text box. Did anyone else do the Pyramid Fairy?
No, I did archery game though, so I saw that text box because I was.
Text box was there, isn't it?
So Chelsea,
that one was there.
can I give you a hot tip for so in V18, the chest game in Village of Outcasts had a bug where it would always, after your first play, the second play and onward, you'd always get 100 rupees.
That's a way to farm
In
too.
chess game?
Yes.
Oh man.
So it's a
I
so
mean,
it's a pretty slick way to farm Zora rupees if you have to.
yeah. Well, I'd already done Zora, but yeah, I wasn't thinking about how much money I had. I was, for whatever reason, thinking. I think I got chess game and digging game swapped in my brain for whatever reason. Because I'm like, oh, I have 40 rupees, I'll be fine. And then I got over there, I was like, oops. And then I was thinking about pod money. Money was a little rough.
Well, we had all those capacity upgrades instead to get through.
Yeah. It was nice seeing my arrows at like 50.
All right, so we are joined by Asder. GG, man.
Yo.
GG.
GG's
So-
out there.
GG's.
Yeah, I hate to see what happened there, but sometimes it just happens, right?
Yeah, I just forgot about it. Because I got boots early, and I should have routed in Lumberjack Chaff, like, right after I got them, but I got distracted. I was, like, thinking really heavily about V18 weights, and I think I did everything right except for that.
Yeah, you would have been go mode a good 10 minutes before Zelda. If you knew about that fire rod.
Yeah, because Turtle Rock wouldn't have been a dead end for me. That was horrible. So I would have done that, and then I would have found Hookshot right away, and that would have been fine. Wouldn't have done Left Side Swamp.
But at least no bomb was preventing you from hopping into Ice Palace.
Yeah,
And no flute to get to Myra.
I don't know. That kind of made me feel worse because I knew that the amount of stuff that other people could have gotten tripped up by was really minimal. So I knew I was going to be way behind. It was fun trying to remember how to play v18 again, though.
What would you think about doing another V1 seed? Do you remember that very first race we did?
Not sure who we is, but
Like the very, very first seed that was made.
That's
Wait.
weird. As in
Very
Desi version.
yes, I know.
Oh my gosh.
I raced some seeds with some of the Metcons crew before he officially released it, so I'm not sure which race you're referring to exactly, because I probably raced it before then.
Oh, okay. Almost like the first public release race is how I'll phrase that.
I might not have made it to that, I don't remember. I do remember downgrading gloves though.
Downgrading glove. Early Quake was bad news.
Yeah. I remember, like, NPCs always had to have a unique item because their flags were literally only, like, their flags are literally inventory checks. They didn't have their own flags. So it had to be something that the game could give you that it could then check your inventory to see if you had it. So there, a lot of the routing in the very, very early versions was based around that. Like, you kind of route in Stumpy because Stumpy always has something.
I mean, personally, I didn't start until like V3, I think. It might have been V4, actually. But, man, just how the evolution of this game. It's so good. Like, you could see everyone, like, V18, how much was actually missing and has changed since then. Like, it's incredible.
Oh yeah, we had a lot of people put in a ton of time into it. I remember hanging out late at night with Christos as he was thinking through all the possible iterations on key logic by it to get that even more interesting. It was amazing just hearing how he thinks through these sort of things.
Oh, I forgot to pay attention to the credits.
Yeah, they've changed a bit since.
Look at all these useless stats.
Useless. Yeah, probably. Yeah, you got some names in there like Scrivo and Greenham, ACM. They really cut like a lot of this out to make room for some other stuff. But
A lot of them like weren't active anymore after a while. No 6 out of 5 Hera though. I think that was a different version. Does anyone remember 6 out of 5 Tower of Hera?
I remember it, but I don't remember what caused it.
Yeah. Completely didn't touch ice, Misery Mire. Those glorious 0 out of 8s.
Did anyone on Restream go in any of those? In any pendant dungeon?
I think a couple players did Swamp. Asder, you did.
Swamp?
From
No,
her
Swamp.
Skullwoods.
Skullwoods.
Okay, I was like,
No, like Skullwoods.
okay. It's okay.
Oh, what? I was the only one that got super got by T-Rock, right?
By the small key?
Yeah, the key
Yeah.
layout.
I wasn't in go mode yet, so I was full clearing it.
Well, I mean, like, I didn't know about Fire Out when I went in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. You know, I had fire rod. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Ugh.
Well, thanks guys for putting this together. Synac for hosting this so we can enjoy the legacy.
Oh, no problem. It was a lot of fun, right? I actually very much enjoyed. So, like, I had to go through the randomizer is basically in a code basically in a repository that has a history on it, so you can kind of see like commit by commit the history, and I had to like go back through that history to figure out which version out of there was the one I needed to use, and that was actually a lot of fun to dig through and like kind of seeing like all of the iterations of changes that happened over time. Until I found the actual V18 build that we were looking for.
I would love to just see the old patch notes so I can see what changed each version.
Yeah, I think so for V18. So before V22, none of those are on the website, but they are in the Git history. Like there are notes in there. What I think maybe what I'll do is I could probably recover some of that stuff. Like the changes for 18, 19, 20, and even before that, and put those back on that updates page. That'd be really cool to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'd be doable too. At least like to some degree. Like it won't be exhaustive, but
So I think in general this just makes me appreciate the current version more. But you know, it's like it's fun. The good old days.
It was fun to kind of be able to game the V18 logic better, or I guess if you remembered what it prioritizes. I was just like, oh, what did we? It was like shovel was bonk rocks, and I was just like, oh, shovel. That opens literally one thing. That one thing must be important. I go there, get book. Oh, cool.
And then that gives you hook shot. And...
Oh, I found gloves in Kakariko. That literally opens one thing, and that's Old Man and Spec Rock. I guess that's two things. So let's go there.
all right. So are we gonna wrap up here?
Yeah.
I think so.
All right. So I think. Is there any ALTTP League races still going on tonight? Let me check the schedule. Actually, I think we're done for the evening. I think there is maybe the tail end of Black Wax versus Freddy on Speed Gaming 2. But yeah, that's it for tonight for ALTTP League races. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. EDT, there's going to be another throwback race. We welcome you all to join us again. I'm going to be playing in that one. Not sure about anybody else here, but
If I can get another admin to hop on the mic, I might hop in my.
we got to have another fight.
Get another fight.
Yeah, we have to fight again.
Okay.
Don't think I can make it to that one.
I'm stuck in my house, so I probably will.
That's a pretty good reason.
Yeah. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, and then there's also a whole bunch of ALTTPR League races also happening as well tomorrow. There's like a bunch. It's like they're finishing up Mystery Week. All right, so yeah, the race on Speed Gaming 2 is still going on. So I welcome everybody to go visit them after we're done here. Do we have any final words from anybody before we end this for tonight?
I would just say GG's everyone, and thanks especially to Synac for putting this together. Really appreciate being hosted again.
Yeah, thanks for putting me on Restream, and it was a lot of fun. I very much, like I said, enjoyed it. So looking forward to tomorrow.
All right, thanks for everyone coming out tonight. We had a pretty nice turnout for this race. Pretty happy
How many
with
people?
that.
40 something?
Oh,
30.
29.
Okay, I thought it was more. I thought it was 40. I'm crazy.
Yeah, especially for being a fairly late stream or a fairly late race. So, kind of hoping we see a lot more people hop by tomorrow as well. That's a lot more friendly for everyone's time zones. So anyways, Speed Gaming 2, you can see the tail end of the league map. We also have Super Metroid multi-category tournament. There's another race that's about ready to start on Speed Gaming 5 as well, so that's a lot of fun. Get the best of SNES going tonight. So, I'm JC87, been joined by Synac. Thank you all for celebrating 3 years of Link to the Past Randomizer tournaments with us tonight.